Thank you very much, Mr. Razovsky. Thank you for the invitation for this very important event. We are very happy to join the distinguished gathering. Dear ladies and gentlemen, so happy to see all of you. And to begin with, let us, start with the quite, well-established understanding in Russia of the Nuremberg Tribunal. Its history is a part of us today, and we carry on the responsibility to preserve the memory of the Second World War. Its conclusions helped to work out norms and principles of the contemporary international relations. 75 years ago, the Nuremberg process attracted the attention of the whole world. High-ranking Nazi officials who stood behind the mass terror, bloody killings, enslavement, and purposeful extermination of entire nations were brought to justice. The tribunal was agreed by the Soviet Union, the United States, and Great Britain, and supported by 19 more countries, and it has got the status of People's Court. Atrocities against Soviet civilians were elevated to the rank of state policy by the Nazis. The Soviet Union suffered immense irreparable losses, and among millions of casualties, the majority was either soldiers who died as prisoners of war or civilians who were fiercely, mercilessly killed. We remember cities which laid in ruins, villages burnt to the ground, brutal mass killings in occupied territories and concentration camps, including elderly people, women, and children. Such crimes have no statute of limitations. The Nuremberg Tribunal pronounced its assessment of those acts and developed the criteria of the crime against humanity and genocide. The Nuremberg lessons are very much in need of the current challenges. We refer to them, defending the truth of historical memory for making a well-founded and solid case against deliberate distortions and falsifications of the Second World War events, especially the shameless and deceitful attempts to rehabilitate and even glorify Nazi criminals and their supporters. Last year, for example, the European Parliament approved the resolution on the importance of preserving historical memory for the future of Europe, directly accusing the USSR, along with Nazi Germany, of unleashing the Second World War. It is very regretful that in Baltic states and in Ukraine, glorification of the members of the Waffen-SS and the so-called nationalist heroes who helped the Nazis is quite popular. We inevitably link the current state of international relations with the post-World War II world order based on the principles of the United Nations Charter. That's why attempts to forget or undermine them are detrimental to global security. The UN Charter is obviously a key element of the Russian-Indian diplomatic relations, and our consistent support of the central role of the United Nations is one of the basic reasons why our global and regional approaches are similar or even coinciding. In this regard, we highly appreciate India's co-sponsorship of the Russia proposed UNGA resolution against glorification of Nazism, neo-Nazism, and other contemporary forms of racism. We were very happy to welcome Defense Minister Rajnath Singh in Moscow this June, who came to participate in the events dedicated to the victory in the Great Patriotic War and lead the Indian Armed Forces 3 Services contingent for the historic Red Square parade. Significantly, in conclusion, it's one of the major lessons of the Nuremberg Tribunal that the key factor of its success was that all anti-Hitler allies were like-minded. And if we take the current global challenges, including COVID-19, it would be quite obvious that only combined and collective efforts would help us to find positive responses to the current challenges. In conclusion, let us state that we believe that this seminar is a strong contribution to a substantive and insightful modern interpretation of the historical legacy of Nuremberg trials. Thank you very much for your attention.